Hi, I'm Michael, and this is Carelifornia. And tonight it appears that there might be a light at the end of the stimulus negotiation tunnel. This is because this week Republican senators and Democratic House members seem to be back on speaking terms, even starting to do what looks like negotiations. On Monday, the GOP announced that it's working on a skinny bill that would be the next iteration for a proposed stimulus package. It would include more benefits than their previous HEREOS Act, but still be a good fiscal distance from the Democratic HEREOS Act. So it's really more like a chubby HEREOS Act than a skinny HEREOS Act. It would include funding for the post office and increased enhanced unemployment benefits, but with one noticeable thing missing so far, and that's stimulus checks. So tonight we're talking about the new Republican skinny stimulus package, the Democratic House's attempt at legislation to protect the USPS, and what this may all mean for the next possible stimulus package. Now this is your 5-minute nightly dose, so let's make this quick. But before we do that, if you like this information, if you find it interesting, if you find it helpful, please don't forget to like and subscribe. That way you can get updates when our newest and most informative videos become available. On Monday, aides for the GOP announced that they are currently working on a skinny bill that will be their next version of the Republican proposal for the stimulus package. Although the full text for the skinny bill is not yet available, it's projected to be available in the next 24 hours. This bill will purportedly be more generous than the previous HEREOS Act because it will include a $300 boost in weekly enhanced unemployment benefits, which will last until December 27th. Moreover, PP money for eligibility small businesses and $10 billion for the embattled USPS, as well as liability protections for businesses. It'll also include money for education and testing. Now, one thing that is going to be very interesting about this bill is that it may be attached to a funding resolution that's meant to keep our country running for another year. This will come due at the end of September, which could lead to an even nastier than usual budget fight between the Democrats and Republicans. Also, the new skinny bill really fails to address most of the pain points that were preventing Congress from coming to an agreement before. One of the biggest problems that I can see with this proposal is that there is a very noticeable stimulus check size hole in all the benefits that are being proposed by this bill. This is because there isn't any mention so far of any stimulus checks being proposed in this bill at all. This seems to be one of the cost-cutting measures that would pay for the other things like the $300 increased enhanced unemployment benefits and the $10 billion for the USPS that were previously not in any GOP proposals. In the earlier versions of the Republican proposals, remember, there's only supposed to be unemployment checks that covered up to 70% of a person's pre-pandemic income. Then it went to $200, and now in this proposal, it's up to $300. So it looks to me like they're trying not to actually come any closer to that $2 trillion negotiated cost that Democrats are willing to do, but rather just reshuffle the proposal around and call it new. Like rearranging the furniture in your house to convince yourself you're in a new house. Finally, this week, the Democratic House has been rushing back into session to do an unusual Saturday vote. This vote will be to pass legislation that would protect the USPS from attempts by the White House to undermine its ability to function, particularly during the coming election season. The urgency is evident in the fact that the House broke with their recess to come back to Washington to vote on this proposal, and moreover on a Saturday, which is quite rare. In this proposal, it will provide the additional $25 billion that the USPS is reported to need to be able to keep up with its normal day-to-day operations and develop a surge capacity for the expected influx of votes by mail that will be set during this year's presidential election. The likelihood of this bill actually passing through the Senate is actually quite low, especially considering the Senate is not back in session until September. And on Monday, Mark Meadows, the White House Chief of Staff, said the standalone Postal Service bill would be unrealistic and unnecessary. Furthermore, Democrats, including Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer, are calling on Mitch McConnell to bring the Senate back into session, making this USPS bill appear to be more of a way of the House to lure the Senate back into session than a realistic attempt at helping the USPS. Overall, I still think this is a good sign that both the White House, the Senate, and the House are all at least on speaking terms. Additionally, we see that the Senate and the White House appear to be making nominal concessions, which is still a step in the right direction. But it does seem very strange that the one thing that all three parties could actually agree on, those stimulus checks, doesn't even show up in the new Republican proposal. And really, this is unfortunate because even with the $300 enhanced unemployment benefits and the $10 billion in USPS money, this is not enough money to help the folks who are struggling right now across our country. It's just another case of Republicans trying to get a political win at the expense of the American people. This has been your 5-minute nightly dose, and I hope that you found it interesting or helpful or at least useful. And if you did, please don't forget to like and subscribe. That way you can get updates when our newest and most informative videos become available. Also, we here at Carelifornia, we know health insurance. So if you have any questions about your health insurance, leave those down below. We'll be happy to make a new video or a new post as soon as we can. Now, other than that, I'm Michael, and this is Carelifornia, wishing you a happy, healthy day.